Alright, HadesOmega here. We're gonna ride the G310R. So I didn't get to ride a G310 GS, but they have this G310R. I've never ridden one, so I'm gonna go for it. Oof, it's so low. It's so low. So I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and I can get my heels on the ground. So let's go fire this bad boy up. It's kind of a little wimpy sounding engine, but it's quiet. Yeah, man, I can get my heels on the ground. It's so low. So low to the ground. Alright, so let's go. Man, it feels really weird, strange riding position. It feels like we're in a scrunched up seat of some sort. It's so small and so light. it's so small. Yeah, I feel a little scrunched up. I feel like it's a little too small for me, man. That's what I'm gonna say. Alright, here we go. It's a pretty much no frills sport bike. The fuel light's on. I have ridden a Ninja 400 pretty recently. I think that's probably I don't know, I would say this is not, this is like a, I don't know what you can compare this to. It's like what is this? It's a small naked bike, really small. It's like a micro naked. You know how they say there's a super naked, naked bike. This is like a mini naked. That's what it is. It's a 310cc naked sport bike, basically is what it is. It's just humming along right at 40 miles an hour. I just did a clutchless upshift, no problem. I got spoiled with that quick shifter. I feel like I'm really scrunched up in this thing, man. I can definitely tell it's for a smaller rider, dude. I feel really scrunched up. Me being 5'10", 175 pounds. It's very light. I can get my heels on the ground, but I feel like we're too scrunched up. So that's pretty much a no frills little sport bike, small displacement sport bike. No traction control. I don't even think it has ABS. I don't see ABS light. No, it has ABS. It does have ABS. There's a little snowflake icon. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a shift light or something. We'll see. We'll see when we rev the balls off of it. But I can tell you now, it kind of doesn't feel like it's underpowered at all, but man, it's so light too. It's so flickable. Man, after riding those big bikes, I just rode the S1000XR and the R1200 GS, and those are big bikes, man. Like they do a very good job of masking their weight, while you're riding, but this thing is the real deal, man. It's super light, super flickable, man. Look at this, so easy. Fourth gear, 30 miles an hour. Feels like it'll do this all day. It's actually not bad. I'm really interested in riding the G310 GS. So I heard these are made, I think these are made in Thailand, I think. I don't remember, don't quote me on that. Well, the nice thing about this engine is it has the exhaust coming out of the back of the engine. Here we go, take the corner. It feels like it's too small for me, man. It feels like I'm riding like my Impulse. Actually, that's what it does feel like when I'm riding. Almost. It actually feels a little more comfortable than my Impulse. The seat's comfy. You know what? It's not bad. I kind of like it. It doesn't have a whole lot of torque, but man, it goes when you twist it. It sounds like we're going really fast, but we're not. That's the funny thing, man. But it feels like we're riding fast in it. We're going to go past this Camaro here, and we're going to go on the off-ramp here. The on-ramp, off-ramp. Oh yeah. It's pretty evident when you twist the throttle, well, it just, kind of doesn't go anywhere. Alright, looks like we're going to have to take it kind of slow, unfortunately. Come on, it's a sport bike! I want to take it! That's some speed, man! Third gear. Turn it in. I don't even have to do anything, man. It effortlessly, you know, I feel like it's too small for me, so I can't, it doesn't feel like I really want to hang off of it. Oh, doesn't have a whole lot of lean. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't lean very much. I scraped it twice there pretty easily, going 45 miles an hour. Let's try that again. We'll see how it does a U-turn. So this is my little test course now, riding the BMW motorcycles. Okay, we're gonna put it in first gear here. I'll just do a UE. Super easy. This is a lot of fun to ride. You know, a lot of people were saying some stuff about the GS, but man, this is a fun little bike to ride, man. We'll see how it does on the freeway. Alright, here we go. 60 miles an hour, we're gonna go downshift fourth, the third, brake a little bit, turn in. Almost full throttle there. Brake, turn in. Horrible out. I wish I brought my street riding boots because I'm scraping my boots a lot, man. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of lean, man. You can't lean a whole lot. It's not a raw sport bike, you know. But it is a naked bike. You know, you gotta give it that. You know, it's comfortable, but you can still ride it fast. Downshift to third. Red line. Merging onto the freeway. It has 6 gears. It's totally naked. It's like, you know, getting all the wind hitting me. It feels fantastic right now, actually, because it's really warm out. 70 miles an hour at 7,000 RPM. Woo! You're just screaming right along. A little bit of passing power, a little bit. A little bit of passing power. I feel like these cars can go way faster than me. Alright, so we're going to take a little kind of sweeping turn here. So we can take it at some speed. Probably going to go really slow, but the bike is not going very fast. It's not very fast. And it's pretty, the suspension is pretty stiff, but I'm feeling all the bumps and stuff here. Come on, Mercedes! Trust that Safeway truck. You can do it. Let's see if it's got some passing power. Full top! 88 miles an hour. No, it'll get up there, man. It'll get up there. 70 miles an hour. I feel a little vibration in the handlebar. Come on, man. You can't see me here? Why don't you go behind me? Yeah, a little bit of a vibration in the handlebars. 60 miles an hour. It's not too bad. You know, this is a great beginner bike. A great beginner bike, and it's comfortable too. You know, I could understand maybe you would get kind of bored of the power after a while, but, you know, you just kind of, you know, it's got adequate power is what I'm going to say. It's got adequate power. I'm not going to say more than adequate. I will say it's got adequate power to get around. It scoots a little bit, man. So 65. 66. Roll off. It's really easy to ride. Like I said, it doesn't have a whole lot of lean angle until you start scraping stuff, unfortunately. The gearbox is nice. The rear brake is kind of like, yeah, it goes in a whole lot. Man, this thing is small too. I bet you we can split really easy, man. Watch this. Split lanes like super easy. Now the mirrors kind of stick out a lot. The first thing I would change on this bike are the mirrors. They're kind of wide. I easily split lanes through that. Like the R1200 GS, I was like, I was kind of hesitant to to split lanes with it because it's such a big bike. Man, come on, Honda Civic. I'm totally gonna pass it when we get to the double lane here. Man, this is a fun bike. I like it. Man, it's a whole lot of fun to ride, man. I feel that, also I'm looking at it like, you know, I feel the build quality looks pretty good. It's not bad. It doesn't look, it's probably not up to snuff with the, you know, the R bikes, the R1200 or the S1000, but hey, man, it's not bad. There is quite a bit of wind noise. I'm wearing a pretty aerodynamic helmet. It's actually not too bad, and you can really tuck down on it. Actually, you can tuck down really good on it. It feels comfortable. My chest is on the tank right now, and my elbows are like, they're kind of sitting on the side of my thighs right now. Let's see if we can go hang in the fast lane now. Yeah, man.
HadesOmega here. So I gotta make another one of these like end videos. So you pretty much saw me riding the R310, and the little bike impressed me a whole lot. I thought, you know, it's just this tiny little BMW sport bike, you know, and you know, it's like, oh yeah, it's this wimpy little sport bike, but yeah, I had a lot of fun riding on it. Actually, you know, I've heard a lot of things like, you know, it's not a very good bike or whatever, and you know, I just had to see for myself, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think it makes a great beginner bike. It's got more than enough grunt, even though it's just a you know, 310cc. It's not bad. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it a whole lot. It was and it has some interesting ergonomics. I'm not gonna lie, it has like what is the word? It feels like you're riding a big mini bike is what it is. Like if you were to take a Grom and like make it bigger, that's what it would feel like, you know. You know, I like riding mini bikes; they're fun. but this one you could ride on the freeway. That was the cool thing. So it had more than enough speed to get to 70 or 80, and like, you know, yeah, it'll cruise at 70, and yeah, it'll cruise at 70 all day long, and it has and it's got enough passing power, you know. If you were to just roll on that throttle like all the way, man, it'll go, man. It'll go. It won't go like super bike fast, but it goes. Okay. Also, another thing is when I got back from the demo ride, they told me that bike was lower. That would have been nice if they told me that earlier. It's no wonder it was so low. So I was able to get my heels on the floor. They had another one in the showroom, and I sat on it, and I was flat foot. So that's pretty good. If anything, I would probably want it a little taller. Maybe set the preload a little harder. And I thought the suspension was okay. It's a little stiff. It's a little stiff, but it's a light bike, you know, and it's really flickable. You can really flick the bike left and right really easy. And I was surprised, like, it's kind of weird. Those, like a naked bike. Naked bikes, normally you don't what's the word? You can't really tuck with naked bikes all that well. They're not really that comfortable to tuck with. But this one was good. You could do full tuck. We could lean on the tank. My chest was on the tank, and I'm looking forward, and like it's kind of weird. The handlebars are so close to you that you can actually get your, like, here, let me show you. You can get your elbow like it's like resting on the side of your thigh. That's kind of weird. Normally, like on most bikes, I'm usually like this, elbow on the thigh, if I'm gonna tuck for a long periods of time. But this one was like elbow over the thigh like this, kind of like that, and it was really comfortable. I was like surprised. It's like if you got a windscreen for that, it would be easy. You could just ride it on the freeway all day long without having to get blasted by the wind. Like it was, yeah, it was a naked bike, and all the wind hits you. But it felt great because it was hot today. So yeah, that was the good thing about it. It was real comfortable to ride, and I think if I rode the regular height one, it would have been perfect. Because like the lowered one, I was able to scrape the pegs, the feelers, pretty easily. Not super easy, but yeah, it doesn't have a lot of lean angle before it starts scraping. But if it was like an inch taller, like the normal height, it would be perfect. You don't have to worry about scraping anymore. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to ride. I really enjoyed it. Man, I know it's a nice naked bike. BMW did a good job with that bike, and it doesn't get hot or anything because obviously it's a small little engine. It's just not pumping out a whole lot of horsepower, so it doesn't doesn't heat up a whole lot. And what I like about it is the exhaust comes out of the back of the engine, and it doesn't get hot. All the heat is behind you, So that's good. I think BMW did a great job with it. I can't wait to ride the GS version. So when I get a chance, I'm gonna go ride the GS version. They said they got like 4 of them, and like 2 of them were like pre-sold, and then like the other 2, they just got sold out like right away, man. Like people, their chance to own like a cheap GS motorcycle, they're flying off of the showroom, dude. But yeah, so I'm really excited to go ride the GS now. So when I get a chance, I'm gonna go ride the G310 GS. But that little sport bike, it impressed me a whole lot. I thought it was like, yeah, just a little wimpy BMW's naked sport bike. But I thought it was good. I thought the build quality was okay. It's not like the higher end, more expensive bikes. They're built a little nicer, but it looked fine to me, man. I don't care where it's made, man. It ran pretty damn good. All right, so that's the HadesOmega's quick review. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's a great beginner's bike, and it would be hard to if you want to get bored of it too quick. It does a lot of things well. Probably could ride it long distances too. I thought the suspension was a little stiff, but it's a sport bike. It's probably not the best suspension in the world too. But yeah, as it sits, I thought it was a great bike. It's a great do everything bike. That's why naked bikes are flying out of the showrooms right now, man. You got all the speed and power similar to a sport bike, but it's comfortable to ride still for long distances or go to work, or it's a sport bike you can live with. That's what it is. So yeah, this one is like uber cheap, about $5,000, and yeah, and apparently if you're really short, you can. There's a lowering kit that they had for it. So for you really short riders, you can ride it, and then there's a regular height one, and it fit me a little better. If anything, I would want it a little taller. But so I'm 5'10", 175 pounds. It felt pretty small for me. It feels like you're really cramped. Like everything is really, really, really close to you, But it wasn't bad. It's interesting ergonomics. I'll have to say, man, you just gotta ride one for yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. It felt different than any other naked sport bike I've ever ridden. Like I said, it felt like It felt like a big mini bike, like a big mini bike. Yeah, that's all I can say. But it wasn't uncomfortable to ride at all. All right, so that's my little after ride review. It's big out.